What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video on the Research CBD and THC YouTube channel. My name is Cindy Tarabi. I am one of the co-founders of the business. And today, this one is for the girls, okay? Today, we're talking about CBD for hormonal shifts. Now, you may be thinking, maybe you're a man and you clicked on this. Why do I want to keep watching, okay? This could also be for you. There's probably a lovely lady in your life who deals with hormonal shifts, who's maybe looking for something a little bit more natural. Maybe the meds that she's taking isn't really working. And we're going to dive in deep into like the science behind CBD, how it can help certain hormones, help your body essentially cope with the changes that it's experiencing. Speaking from personal experience, as someone who's just on the tail end of her time of the month, I use CBD regularly, but even more so during this time because it helps with a lot of different things, and we're going to dive into that. So whether it's PMS, menopause, or postpartum changes, hormonal fluctuations, why can't I speak? Hormonal fluctuations can bring mood swings, discomforts, trouble sleeping. So in this video, we're going to go over how CBD can interact with your body during this time, what the research says, how to choose safe products, and of course, important precautions, because I am not a medical doctor. These are just what I have found on the internet and what also has worked for me personally. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about hormonal. First, let's talk about hormonal shifts, what they look like and why they matter, why to pay attention to them. These fluctuations occur at multiple stages of our life cycle. So, of course, during the menstrual cycle, many experience PMS, which is normal, and some men even think to be a myth, which it is not. Things like cramps, bloating, irritability, just tension in general, it all is brought on by these hormonal shifts during your menstrual cycle. But in things like perimenopause and menopause, hormone levels, especially estrogen and progesterone, can change dramatically. This can lead to things like hot flashes, mood swings, joint issues, and also sleep disruptions. And finally, after childbirth, we go through postpartum, right? This can also bring a shift in our hormone levels, which not just shift, but shift really rapidly. It can bring a lot of mood shifts along with it. These changes influence neurotransmitters in the brain, which leads to inflammatory responses and many bodily systems. So now that we've kind of broken it down into these three different stages of a woman's life, we're now going to go into why CBD and how CBD can interact with our bodies during this time. How can CBD come into play? Cannabidiol is a non-intoxicating compound found in hemp and marijuana, but mainly in hemp, of course. It interacts with our body's ECS, or endocannabinoid system, which is a body system that we all have, men included. Everyone's included in this one. We all have an ECS, and it's involved with shifts in our mood, discomforts, stress, and sleep. Some of the things that CBD is really well known for, we're going to go over that list just as a little bit of a recap and why it can actually help during this time. Number one, mood and calmness. So CBD may modulate serotonin receptors, which is important for mood regulation. Number two, discomfort and tension. Some users report that CBD helps with aches, tension, and general discomfort tied to their cycles. Now, not every woman experiences the menstrual cycle, perimenopause, menopause, postpartum in the same way, but we are going through these shifts. So how much you're taking, how you're taking it, how much you're comfortable taking it, what kind of product you're using, it's all going to vary based on you, your body, and what you're personally going through. And finally, number three, sleep support. CBD may help with sleep by acting on the body's stress response system, making it easier to unwind. So rather than CBD helping with sleep, it's not really helping you stay asleep, fall asleep faster. It's not a sleeping pill, but it can help your body de-stress, which can help you relax, which is going to help you in turn fall asleep and stay asleep through the night. And of course, it's always really important to know, while there is a lot of anecdotal evidence, obviously myself included as someone who's talking about this, who owns a company about CBD, a lot of our customers who experience this. The human clinical research is pretty limited right now. And unfortunately, we can't conclusively say that CBD treats X, Y, or Z. So let's talk about consumption. What kind of products to use? We're going to start with CBD gummies and why we should choose them during these times of our lives. Times of our lives? Time of our life. Yeah. So why would someone pick CBD gummies specifically over an oil, a capsule, a topical? Here are some of the advantages. Number one, they're pre-dosed, which makes it easier to control how much CBD you're actually taking. Think of it compared to an oil. You can titrate up or down depending on how much CBD you want that day. But if you're looking for a very consistent dose, CBD edibles are a great way to do that. And it's very much like take one, insert, chew, swallow, and you're done. Number two, they're discreet and portable. They're great when you're out traveling. Rather than traveling with an oil that could potentially leak, traveling with gummies, especially CBD hemp gummies, is very much legal within the United States. If you're traveling outside of the United States, you definitely have to look into those specific laws, as every state, country, continent is very different. CBD gummies, number three, the advantage is they obviously taste really freaking good most of the time. Most of the time, ours tastes really, really good. If you're someone who's really adverse to certain flavors, textures, things like that, having a CBD gummy that actually tastes good, not only just is a nice feeling, but it actually makes you want to take the product, which also helps with the consistency in taking it. And number four, they're generally easy to integrate into a daily routine. So just like I was talking about before, they're easier because you look forward to it. They're good. Think of like the old school Flintstone dino gummies. You know what I mean? Like those were very much consistently a part of a child's routine because they were fun, because they tasted good, and it made you take your vitamins. Same thing with CBD. The gummy is very much a tried and true way to consume on all aspects because it is just so easy and so simple to add into your daily routine. So of course, when it comes to CBD gummies, there is a huge range, not just in dose, not just in flavor or texture, but in the quality of the CBD gummy you are getting. And when it comes to our mood shifts, our hormones, you want to make sure you're getting the highest quality possible so that you're getting the best results. So we're going to go over what to look for when you're shopping for CBD gummies. Number one, of course, is always third-party lab testing. Look for COA, certificate of analysis. This tells you how much CBD is actually in the product, how much other cannabinoids are actually in the product. Typically, they'll also test for pesticides, herbicides, certain alcohols if there was an extraction process there. But that COA should tell you what is in the product and if the label on the gummy is matching the actual product testing, if that makes sense. So if a CBD gummy says it's 30 milligrams CBD, but my COA says 20 milligrams, 25 milligrams, just know it's pretty normal to have a little bit of variability, maybe some sort of like percent margin, but it should not be a huge shift or huge difference between, the actual product, what's on the label, and then what's found on the COA. Number two is obviously you want to look for hemp-derived CBD products. Hemp is federally legal. Also, you tend to find just higher CBD milligram doses in general in the hemp market. Like at Restart, we have gummies that are 30 milligrams, we have gummies that are 60 milligrams CBD, and a little bit of everything in between, full spectrum, isolate, broad spectrum in certain cases. In many places, you want to make sure, especially if you're going to be traveling with this, when it's hemp derived, it is a lot easier and very legal to travel with because it's under 0.3% of THC by dry weight. So it always falls within those federal guidelines. Number three, clear ingredient labels. If you look at a product or you go online and you cannot find the ingredients in that product, red flag. You want to make sure beyond just the cannabinoid, what else is in the product? Are there dyes? Are there preservatives? Are you someone who's vegan and the gummy is made with gelatin, which is not vegan? Side note, all of our gummies are pectin based, so they are all vegan, but also that just makes it for a better texture that we found over the years. But just again, reading clear ingredients, looking for the labels, looking for all that good stuff on the website or on the actual product if you're in store. And of course, finally, transparent and trustworthy brands. Obviously, Restart, I'm going to toot our own horn. We're on here on the internet quite often. We talk a lot about education, about quality, about where you're getting your products from, about how to consume. We have a website, we have a blog, we have a YouTube channel, Instagram, we have our in-store team. Education for us is top priority, education and high quality. So when you come to Restart, you're expecting a lot out of us. You're actually raising the bar for us and making sure that we meet or exceed your expectations when you shop with us. So again, looking for brands not just like us, or not us, but rather brands that are like us, who are doing their due diligence. They care a lot about the product. They care a lot about the customer, because in our eyes, if you are experiencing nothing from a product, or if you're experiencing adverse effects from a product, that's not good. That's not good for many, 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 many reasons, but also mainly for our industry as a whole, right? So when you have a bad experience, you may never want to come back to the product in general. You may want to give it another go, versus going to someone who is reputable, who is trustworthy, who's going to tell you where to get your products, who's going to tell you what's inside of your product. Because unfortunately right now, hemp is pretty underregulated. We're getting there with this whole executive order and the whole bill situation that we went through this year. If you go back a couple of videos, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. Here in Texas, reputable source, trustworthy source, seek it, find it, and hold on to it. And never let go. Not only that, look for also a brand that has a variety of choices. So beyond CBD, we also sell CBG, CBN, Delta 8, Delta 9. There are so many different areas in which we try our best to make sure we have a wide variety of product, because there are a wide variety of ailments of consumers who are looking for, some sort of high, or looking for no high at all, and everything that falls in between that. So CBD is pretty well tolerated for, I would say, a majority of people, but there are important safety concerns that I do want to go over. Number one is you have to talk to your healthcare provider. If you are on certain medications, I know for a fact that if you're specifically on things like a blood thinner, that CBD cannabis may not be the best fit for you, because it actually counteracts or can inhibit, that drug from doing what it needs to do for you. So it's always really, really important to be very transparent upfront with your healthcare provider. This is especially if you're on hormonal medications, obviously the whole point of this video. If you have a hormone-sensitive condition that you need to keep track of, again, being very upfront with your doctor is always a good thing. Number two is start with a low dose and go slow. Even when it comes to CBD, something that is non-intoxicating, you want to make sure you're starting low for many reasons. One, just to make sure that you don't feel any adverse effects. Number two, maybe you don't need as much as you think you need. So why take more than what you need? And just to see how your body responds, right? So if you're someone who, starts with a low dose, you're like, I don't really feel it, you can always titrate up to maybe at 5-10 milligram increments. The beauty of CBD is obviously, like I said, it's non-intoxicating, so you don't run the risk of feeling too high in a situation, but you want to make sure that you are doing this properly so that you feel the effects without overdoing it, and you can keep your tolerance at a really good level as well. Kind of going back to the medications, be really cautious of the interaction of CBD in our liver. So since CBD, cannabis, is broken down in the liver, it can actually affect liver enzymes that metabolize certain medications. So it might alter how some of these drugs are processed. Like I was saying earlier, specifically on blood thinners, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know exactly how blood thinners work, if they're metabolized in our liver or what have you. I'm sure someone is a medical professional and can provide more insight in the comments below. But when you have a drug that is also being digested through your liver, cannabis also gets digested through your liver, you want to make sure that there is no negative interaction between those two things. Always just be very cautious, aware of how you feel, and monitor how you feel over the course of the start of your cannabis journey. There are also a lot of lifestyle shifts that can help support you during these hormonal shifts. So CBD can be one piece of the puzzle, but CBD is not the end-all be-all drug that's going to cure every single thing in your body. Let's be real. Lifestyle choices can influence how strongly and how well you cope with hormonal changes. Things like gentle walking, exercising, getting out in the sunlight, moving your body is very, very, very good during these hormonal shifts. Yoga, meditation, something to help calm you and bring you back to center. Hydration and balanced nutrition. So you want to make sure you're drinking a lot more water, maybe add in some more electrolytes. You want to make sure you're eating a nice, well-balanced meal. So getting your greens in, proteins, carbs, fats, fiber, all of it. Make sure your plate is full of a lot of different things multiple times throughout the day, okay? If you're used to eating a breakfast quesadilla, actually that sounds pretty good. You're used to eating out a lot. Maybe you have a lot of like fast food that you're getting to. Maybe it's a busy week. You notice your mood is kind of shifting, you're a little more irritable. Try switching up your diet. It could be something in your diet that's just lacking a little bit. Maybe you're not eating enough greens. Maybe you didn't eat enough greens that day. Maybe you didn't drink enough water that day. So little things like that just to be very aware of as well. Stress reduction practices, things that are, I don't know, to me, I don't practice a lot of these personally because some of them I do find to be a little bit kitschy. But if they work for you and they help bring you back to center, then freaking do them. Things like meditation, journaling, talking to a therapist, deep breaths, that one I actually do. I do that one a lot. I do a lot of deep breath stuff. But if you have never tried that stuff before, if you find yourself in a really anxious situation, try take some deep breaths. Let's do it right now. Breathe in through your nose. Hand out your mouth. One more time. Breathe into your nose. Honestly, I feel a lot better just by doing that right now. So things like that can help you bring you back to balance and kind of bring you out of your head and back to like a real life scenario. Like, okay, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Could help. And of course, this is honestly one of the biggest one is have a consistent sleep routine. So regular sleep at bedtimes. You're not going to bed at midnight one night, 9 p.m. one night, 2 a.m. one night. Trying to have as much consistency as possible, but also a really good nighttime wind down routine. Making sure you're helping regulate your mood, your energy levels. Sleep is insanely important. Hence why also people come to us for CBD, CBN for sleep, because when you're not getting good sleep, honestly, you're just not really as good of a human as you could be. So sleep, prioritize it. When you combine all of these strategies plus in taking a little bit extra CBD, you can really thoughtfully plan out a routine that supports your mood and regulates your body's cycle. One thing I do want to touch on is also THC products. While this majority of this video is on CBD, which is about balance, wellness, mood shifts, hormones, all of that, THC can actually play a really crucial role if you're someone who's open and into the idea of taking THC products for hormones as well. Some people really like to explore THC gummies during this time, especially for sleep or discomfort. As again, someone who is just coming off of it, my first day of my cycle is actually atrocious, okay? I feel like I'm on my deathbed. My stomach is in knots. I feel nauseous. I can barely get out of bed. I don't even want to eat, which is really hard for me. So instead of just like toughing it out, what I do is I take a really high dose of CBD with a little bit of THC, and that usually calms me down. Not only that, but I actually take an oil and I like rub it on my tummy, and it feels really it makes me feel so much better. Here are some key things to keep in mind if you're someone who's looking for THC or wants to add THC to their routine during these hormonal shifts. So number one, THC, of course, is psychoactive. So you're gonna be really mindful of how much you're actually taking. Are you going to work? Are you chilling at night? You know, where are you? How much do you actually need to give you the results that you want? Because the effects can vary widely depending on how much THC you take. It's best to start with a really low dose. Like I said, start low and go slow. Start low, go slow, okay? Say it with me. Start low, go slow. It's okay to start a little bit lower than what you think you need, where you feel comfortable. 2 milligrams, 2.5 milligrams. That's all you need to go for. If you need more, you can always add more later. But let me tell you, when you take too much, getting back down from that sucks. It sucks. The legal status obviously matters. So you want to make sure your THC is legal where you live. I know some states have now completely outlawed, banned certain hemp-derived THC products. So either going to a dispensary, going to a licensed hemp dispensary, and just making sure you're finding the products that are best suited for you, but also obviously legal in the state that you're in. And lastly, just be cautious if you have sensitivities or mental health concerns. If you choose to go the THC route, be cautious, stay informed, and just be really in tune with your body. So to recap all of this, CBD gummies may offer a gentle, approachable way to support comfort, mood, and sleep during hormonal shifts, especially when used thoughtfully alongside a healthy lifestyle. But I always like to say CBD is not a magic fix. Okay, I hate to say it. Obviously, I own a company that's surrounded by CBD and THC products, but it's not a magic fix. You need to adjust some of your lifestyle changes along with CBD to help use it as a tool to give you a better outcome, to make sure you're not dealing with bloats and cramps and hormone changes. Because although CBD can help with that, it is not the cure-all, end-all, be-all for many folks. I think that's all I got. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely hope you found this really insightful. As someone personally who tries to avoid certain medications during this time in the month, as I go into my later years of life, will all experience perimenopause, menopause, postpartum. I really try to utilize CBD as a natural alternative to things like Midol, Advil, Tylenol. To me, nothing is wrong with whichever way you choose, but if you're wanting to look for something a little bit more natural that can actually help you and not have any side effects, then that is the route that I personally choose to go. And if you're on that journey as well, I encourage you to explore it in a really safe and mindful way. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. You can subscribe to the channel, and then make sure to go follow us on Instagram as well at Restart CBD. And for any specific products you're looking for, whether it's CBD gummies, CBD oils, CBD capsules, THC stuff, we have it all. We literally have it all. Okay. So you can go shop with us online. We ship to all 50 states, restartcbd.com. And I hope you have a great day. Good luck with your hormones, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.